Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky, and I am a living Christ. That statement will surely upset many of you who see yourselves as Christians. But what do you know about Christ? You have been told stories since early age, and you believed them. You trusted the people who told those stories to you, and those stories were told to them by those whom they trusted, on down through the generations to the beginning of family, of communities. A Christ is not what you think he is. You have been conditioned to believe in a myth, a satanic myth. For the myth, the superstitions, the beliefs that you hold are all imposed upon you through such organized, institutionalized storytelling. Thus, they form your belief system. You are a Christian. What does that do to you? It separates you from all those who are conditioned otherwise, to other religions, to other political ideologies, who call themselves Buddhists, who call themselves Jews, who call themselves any number of ideas that have been imposed upon them that they identify with. What they forget is that they are humans. They are living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient, natural beings. They are the sons and daughters of God. The God I speak of is not the God of the Bible. He's not some old man with a beard, lofting in the clouds, looking over the shenanigans of a satanic world that he allowed to go on for the purpose of you learning who you truly are. You are being tested. If you are born into this world, you are born into hell. The hell of duality. The hell that is ruled by a dualistic bound intellect that is divisive in nature and opposing. For the word opposer, the nature of the word opposer is that of Satan. Now, many of you take it for granted that that's the way of the world, and you accommodate yourself to it. And you reap the benefits of that accommodation. Your life is confused. Your life is full of conflict, of divisiveness, of judgment. You lose yourself in the conflict, and you become angry and frustrated. You become exactly what your satanic conditioners intend you to be. Manageable slaves. You are slaves to ideas. You are afraid to countermand those ideas. But you see, you do have the power to do that. No one can enslave you but yourself. And you are enslaved by your own doubt. The world that you see is the projections of your own thoughts that you react to and thus create in the physical world, in all of your relationships. It is one of distrust, one of opposition, one of power, one of position, one of wealth, the gaining of wealth. But what is wealth? And do you not already have wealth, but then you give it away because you doubt yourself? You give it to those who have the power to make you doubt yourself. These are the satanic leaders who take charge of your life and tell you how to think. Not how to think, but what to think. And you believe them. You honor them. You submit to their power. You obey their power. That's what the schools are all about. They're institutionalized satanic conditioning forces. They create your mindsets. They prepare you to step out into hell. As a child, prior to your educational conditioning, did you not have an open mind? You were open to truth. You, in that state of consciousness, were Christ's. That's what a Christ is. He's not some powerful image that you worship, for that is a satanic image. It's all bass-backward. They make you worship the graven images that they instill into your mind, into your malleable intellect. And you accept it. You consent to it. You consent to your own hellish enslavement. And you think it's normal. You go along to get along. You look at others and you see that they are in various positions of the same dilemma that you find yourself in. They are searching. They are searching for what? They are searching for truth. However, did they not have truth before they gave it up through such doubtful consent? That is the trick of Satan. Satan must be invited into your consciousness in order to seduce you. He must offer you an idea that is more powerful to you in your confusion than the power of truth that exists in you. And so you submit, you give in, you give up your balance, you give up your intelligence, your holistic intelligence, the intelligence of truth. At the beginning, I told you that I was a living Christ. I'm a 77-year-old man, and I'm a Christ. But Christ does not limit itself to age. Christ is a state of truth that exists in one's consciousness. The man Jesus of Nazareth said some 2,000 years ago, "Except that you come as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven." What did he mean by that? Children, you see, unconditioned children, children who have not gone through the milieu of mind conditioning, mind control, are naturally truthful entities. But they are made to doubt themselves. They become civilized human beings. If you are a Christian, if you are a civilized man or woman, you are living in hell. That's the bottom line. You've given up the truth that was your spiritual heritage. And what did you give it up for? To become deceitful. To become a conflicted entity that is seeking power, more power over another. That is the nature of the dualistic society that you live in. And you are all slaves, each and every one of you. But you rationalize it away because everyone you see is in the same boat. They waste their lives. They live their lives living that lie until they die. And because we are all eternal beings, in fact, there is no death. There is just transitions into other dimensions, and to come back over and over and over again to learn the lessons that we have not learned in the prior existences, in the prior incarnations. Now, how does one redeem themselves? How does one return to the Christ state? Is it possible? Damn right it's impossible for the average man, because he has not been able to leave the confines of his satanic ruled intellect. You see, a Christ is a simple man or a woman, a boy or a girl of truth, of holistic intelligence, able to see what is and to be what is, to unfold with it. In biblical terms, they are the I am that I am. They are at one with all of creation. In that state of consciousness, there is no conflict. Conflict only can occur in the dualistic, divisive, trained intellect, the intellect of a civilized mind. What we see unfolding in our world today is an attempt of a new world order, which is nothing more than a satanic ideology that is looking to consolidate its power over people who live in a dualistic world of intellect. There only the masters and slaves exist, but they are threatened by any living man, you see, who understands that the world they live in is only a fiction, a matrix, if you will, an overlay of ideology that one confines himself to through his own consent, not understanding what he has done to himself. But there have been others in every age who are simple, who retain their truth, their oneness with God, infinite intelligence through divine awareness, who speak the words, the energy behind those words, with quite a different resonance, the resonance of holistic intelligence. You see, all beliefs are partial grasps, reflections of that holistic truth. And when you believe, you become a worshiper of graven images, of an idea that you have projected by your own consent, by the pressures that have been exerted upon you, by outside mind-controlling forces, the media, the government, the religions. They are all attacking your mind at every opportunity that they have. And it's so overwhelming that the average man, woman, or child just capitulates to it, just gives in, caves in. in that moment, they create the hell that exists in their lives. I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be. I can tell you that, because I have lived that life and retained my Christ consciousness. I did not cave in to the pressures of conditioning, the promises of power, the satanic seductions that each and every one of us are tempted with. I retained the truth, the holistic truth, the truth that has no need to defend itself. It speaks for itself, and it cannot be assailed by any satanic, divisive thought that attempts to overcome it with power, with numbers. Numbers are just an example of one ignoramus joined by other ignoramuses who equally are involved in a miserable existence, yet they find fellowship in each other, and they join forces. They create organizations, groups, committees. These are the exponential evidence of ignorance, and in some cases, stupidity. I'm speaking to each and every one of you. You know who you are. I don't need to tell you who you are. My words mirror who you are, and you cannot escape it. So what's going to be your reaction? For you surely will react to my words, because they don't stroke you. They don't praise you. They don't attempt to seduce you. They merely speak the simple truth unfolding in the moment, and let the devil take the hindmost. That's who you are. You, most of you, will be angry, and you will lash out. That's your first mistake. What I am giving to you is the gift of love, the gift of energy that resides well beyond your intellect, the gift of holistic intelligence, not fragmented belief. You can take it or leave it. That's entirely up to you. But you know where this world is heading. The only decision that you must come to is, what part do you play in it? Are you ready to go along, to get along? Straight to hell? Or are you going to find the truth that is really your own spiritual heritage, that has always been with you, but it's been covered up by a mountain of satanic conditioning that has misdirected your attention? You have everything you need to have a peaceful life. The only choice, there is no choice. Actually, there's only a choice if you wish to remain in your intellect. Silence that intellect. Be quiet. And the intellect stops. In that moment of ending, you have died. You have died to the intellect, and the resurrection of your true spirit of Christ consciousness comes through, because there is nothing blocking it. That is the moment of truth. That is what is necessary for you to do. I cannot tell you what the truth is, for you're not capable of understanding it. I can show you, I can lead you to the point of departure, but you must become quiet. That's what meditation is all about. But many have changed that point of meditation into a game, into a satanic ritual, where you are dealing with the thought of truth. And you still remain in hell, do you not? I'm talking about actual silence, genuine silence, absence of noise, absence of frivolous ideas that prevent you from seeing the truth of how you live. Now, you may take this video or leave it. It makes no difference to me, for you see, truth is what it is, and no thought can change it, and it still remains truth. That's the spiritual immunity that each and every one of you have. When you come to that level of truth, you are immune from the attacks, and there will be many, that I can assure you. I have been under attack on the internet for the last 19 years, as a matter of fact, by our government, by religions, by the media, by disinformation agents who have tried every trick in the book to discredit me. Why? Why spend 19 years to discredit someone if there wasn't something to it? Understand? Many will call me a kook, an idiot, but they cannot reduce me to their own ideas. For I have 19 years of a track record to show the immunity of one who lives in truth. In the world of satanic, civilized behavior, I was arrested, brought before the courts, the Satanic courts of Oregon, and the illusion, the satanic juristic person was convicted in 2 trials. But you see, throughout the 20-plus hearings and 2 trials that I endured, I challenged the judges, the courts, the fictitious entities who are there only at the behest of the ideas promoted by civilized living beings such as yourself. If you are a living, breathing, flesh and blood man, you are immune from the courts. They have no jurisdiction over you. They only have jurisdiction over a fictitious entity that they have created and have connected you with them. All you need to do is stand up and demand that they prove jurisdiction. And they will not, they cannot. That is what I did, despite the 2 convictions which threatened me with 35 to 40 years in prison. And I had undergone 2 hunger strikes, one of 33 days, one of 22 days, for the total of 55 days, which left me near death. That, along with my refusal to accept their sentencing, because they had not proven jurisdiction, put them in a quandary. I called their bluff, and they folded. They threw me out of jail, with no charges hanging over the head of this living man. Although the fictional books of government will show a conviction of the juristic person which never existed, just an idea that they have created through the birth certification. But the average man has been conditioned to not be able to think for himself, and so he accepts the dictum of government, of schools. That is the point where they are told what to think, not how to think. So, if you want freedom in your lives, and freedom for your children and your posterity, then understand that what I have told you is truth, simple truth, that anyone can grasp if they don't doubt themselves. Take that truth and make it your own. Be at one with truth, and you shall be free. That is the way to stop the insanity that is unfolding with this nonsense of the Jade Help 15, the program that is conditioning people to accept martial law in these United States of America. It's all an illusion. Call their bluff, and they will fold. For they cannot, they have not the power to overcome truth. They can only distort it and make you believe it, and thus make you agree to live in the hell of your own making. Thank you for your time.